Hi there, Dr. Mort Orman again, and we're continuing in our demonstration of the board game called Stress Mastery, the board game. It may seem like a game, but it's really your life. This is a game that I created a little while ago that's available for sale, and I wanted to give you a little insight into how the game is played. And we've already gone through the setup of the game in the first video. We did a sample of questions from the emotions card deck. In the last video, we did a sample of questions from the careers card deck. And today I want to take you through a couple questions in the relationships card deck. Notice you are in this simulation, you and I are playing together as only two people. The game can be played anywhere between with 2 to 6 people. I'm the yellow car here. You are the orange car here. It's a racetrack loop, as we mentioned originally. You've already passed the start to complete the first lap, so you're now on lap 2. I'm still on lap 1. And again, we're not actually playing the game correctly here. We're just doing it as a demonstration so you can see some of the questions. So again, we would roll the dice. I would move my piece. You would then roll and move your piece and say you landed on a yellow triangle. And today we want to focus on the relationship deck. So somebody playing the game other than yourself would read you this question, and you would have an opportunity to answer it. If you get it correct, you would get an extra turn. If you got it wrong, you would lose a turn. So here's the question. Which of the following types of either-or thinking or black-white thinking, that's a very common kind of thinking that we have, tend to cause problems and conflicts in our relationships? Good-bad thinking, A, is good-bad thinking. B, right-wrong thinking. C, win-lose thinking. D, credit-blame thinking. So there's 4 choices here. Any or all of them could be true, or none of them could be true. So of those 4 types of either, very common types of either or thinking, or black-white thinking, how many of them do you think tend to cause problems in our relationship? And then you would be able to give your answer, and it might stimulate some discussion amongst the players of the game. But the answer on the card is that all 4 of these either-or patterns of thinking are very common causes of stress and problems in our relationships. So you might want to think a little bit about that and notice where that may have come into play in your relationships or people that you know. And again, this is one of the ideas of the game is after the game is over, you could take a question like this and you could toss it around between, let's say, 4 or 6 people, however many people are playing the game. See what your thoughts are, see what kind of examples you each have from your own life that might be interesting to talk about. So that's the first question, and then we would put it at the bottom of the deck. And then again, we would roll, I would roll, and it would be my turn to advance, and you would roll. And let's say you landed again on another triangle, and it happened to be relationships triangle. Here's the next question that you would have an opportunity to answer. Which of the following are good, healthy ways to respond when your partner criticizes you? And you get 4 choices, and it's up to you to determine if any of these are true or not, and if so, which ones. So A, good ways to respond when your partner criticizes you. A, become defensive and deny any wrongdoing. Is that a good way to respond to being criticized? B, become defensive and point out flaws that your partner has. Is that a good way to respond? C, walk away and refuse to discuss the issue. Is that a good way to respond when someone criticizes you? And D, honestly assess the criticism and look for ways to acknowledge where your partner may be correct. So of those 4 choices, how many of them do you think are good ways to respond, and how many of them do you think are not so good ways to respond? And again, you would give your opinion, and the answer on the card is D, the final one, to honestly assess the criticism and look for ways to acknowledge where your partner may be correct. Again, another question that could stimulate some controversy and some discussion, although hopefully not. So, and then we'll do one more. Again, I would roll the dice and move mine. The car, you would roll the dice and move your car. Again, if you land on another triangle, we would take a relationship card. And this final question for our demonstration is, which of the following are subtle forms of abuse that can slowly destroy a relationship? And again, you have 4 choices. A, frequently making sarcastic put-down remarks. B, withholding affection. C, threatening to leave. D, honoring and appreciating the other person and the value they add to your life. Again, you would have an opportunity to look at those 4 choices, and if you didn't remember them all, you could have them reread to you. But the answers on the card are which of the following, or which of these are ways that will actually are detrimental to your relationship. And all of the first 3 are likely to be detrimental. The 4th one, honoring and appreciating the other person and the value they add to your life, is not a destructive pattern. It's probably good for your relationship. So that's just an example of some of the questions. Remember, there's 36 questions in each of these card decks, and sometimes it's very useful to play the game multiple times over a period of time, and so you can get to hear these questions more than once and see how people respond to them. So that's it for this short video, and then we'll finish up with the last video in the series. We'll go through some questions in the life question pack. So again, if you want to purchase the game, just go to my website, docorman.com, go to the contact page, and send me a message, and I'll get back to you on how you can get the game for yourself. It sells for $67, and that includes shipping and handling. This is Dr. Orman. Until the final video for this series, I will talk to you at that time.